Thank you so much for clicking on the video. This is Miss October, aka T. Just coming to you today to just share some of my thoughts about aging. When I was a little girl, my grandmother always told me there's only one thing constant in life, and that's change. And she was right, because you're guaranteed to get old. It's not guaranteed to be fun. It's not fun. Aging isn't fun, and no one can prepare you for it. And I'm going to get into how my journey towards aging began. Well, what was the indicator for me that I was getting old? Stay tuned. All right, so I'm one of those people who gets an annual exam from a physician, from my primary care doctor. And a couple of years ago, I went in. I felt regular, normal. Just did it because it's kind of routine. And she informed me that I was pre-diabetic. And I was like, oh, no. Mainly because the flag was waving for me. The red flag was waving for me because my mom's diabetic, my grandma. It's in my family. So that raised a flag for me. So she discussed with me, what I would need to do to ensure that I reduce my insulin resistance. If you don't know what pre-diabetes is, this is the definition of prediabetes. So my doctor does what she does. She refers me to a nutritionist, and, I start having sessions with the nutritionist. And essentially, for me, what the nutritionist recommended was a three-prong approach. One, of course, was diet. I had to make some changes to my diet. 2 was to exercise regularly. And then 3 was to increase my water intake. So, but all of those are pretty much health related, right? So with diet, I pretty much kind of reduced my carb intake. To this day, I don't eat white bread anymore. If I do eat any white rice, it's a palmful of white rice. It's very small. I don't really eat white potatoes. If I do, palm size. So you just kind of have to minimize your carbs. Well, starches. You can eat vegetables, but like starches, you kind of have to monitor. But anyway, so I also began exercising. So for me, I primarily, if I had to split my exercise routine up, it's predominantly resistance training. And so I would say it's probably 85-15, leaning more towards lifting weights versus cardio, which works for me. I think at my highest, I've only weighed like 141 pounds. I'm a small woman, so I lift weights, but I also, I do steady state cardio. For me, my preferred cardio would be jumping rope, walking on the treadmill, or sprinting on the treadmill, and rowing. And I really love rowing because it's a full body exercise. But aging sucks. Back to the topic at hand. Aging sucks. So not only, it was determined that I'm becoming insulin resistant, but then it's like my metabolism slowed down. So like I said, I've only really weighed at the most between 140 to 145. And I used to be able to kind of drop weight. Like if I adjusted my diet, I could lose weight in like 2 or 3 days. Now it's like a week plus. So I can tell that my metabolism slowed down as well because aging sucks. But I think as we get older, we have to be a little bit more mindful of being active. We have to be a little bit more mindful about the foods that we eat and things such as that. So for me, it's very important that I eat intuitively. I'm not saying I don't eat fast food, but I try not to make it if at minimum once a week, that's probably it. I'm always drinking water. I probably drink on average 80 ounces a day on average. And my steps on average about 8,000 a day. So at lunchtime, I walk. I go and I walk. I eat and then I go walk. 20, 30 minutes, I'm walking. So I think it's important to keep moving, to be mindful of everything you put into your body. and pray. That's what I've been doing. So working out is working for me. We'll just see how this goes. Aging sucks. And I don't want to become diabetic because diabetes isn't fun either. So I think if you make the necessary adjustments ahead of time, you can kind of like avoid some of the pitfalls that earlier generations fell into. But what do I know? Anyway, that's just my take on aging. I have more thoughts about aging. If you are concerned or you want to follow me on my journey, please subscribe, stay tuned, and check in with your girl. Thank you so much for watching.